variables, write 2 equations based on the content, and then you solve it. Okay, so that's kind of the gist of it. So we're going to get right into it so we can get as many types of questions as we can. So the ticket problem, this is kind of like your generic system problem that ACT likes, all those other tests like. Anna, can you close up, please? Okay, so at a local theater, adult tickets cost $12, child tickets cost $8. One evening, 80 tickets were sold for a total of $8.40. How many adult tickets and how many child tickets were sold? So first thing you need to do is figure out what your variables are. Basically, you look at the last sentence, okay? How many adult tickets and how many child tickets? That kind of tells you what your X and Y are. If you want to use A and C for adult and child, I don't care, whatever you feel like doing. I'm just going to do X and Y because everyone seems obsessed with that. So I'm going to do X is going to be the number of adult tickets. And you have to show all this on that quiz. So make sure you're defining your variables. Plus, it organizes your life after you're done solving it. So X is number adult, Y is number of child tickets. Okay, so for the tickets problem, they're all the same. They're going to tell you a cost for each, and they're going to tell you the total. Okay, so there's usually 2 equations, systems of equations. There's going to be one equation for cost and one equation for like the total number sold. Okay, so for this one, if I do a formula for just straight up cost, okay, so every ticket problem is the same, is we're going to do a cost one. So find all your money stuff. So you got money, 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 okay? So you're going to set up a cost equation. So $12 for an adult. So you're going to do $12 for an adult, 12x, right? And plus $8 per a child, so 8y, and that's going to be a total of $840. So you do all your money stuff in one equation, and the ticket questions are always the same. So money situation, and then the other equation is going to be like total tickets. And this one feels like, honestly, it feels almost too easy. It's hard because the only number they give you is this 80 business, this 80 tickets. But the total amount of adult and the total amount of child has to add up to the 80, and this is literally what it is. The total, as in both of them together, make 80 tickets. Okay, so that's how you would set those up. So there's always a cost equation and a total number of tickets equation, and then now you get to solve however you want. So I personally am a elimination fan. You could do substitution, it's not that hard. But if I'm going to do elimination, hey, so that's what we did on Friday. I multiply, I think I did -8. Yeah, I did. I'm going to multiply this bottom equation by -8 so I can get rid of the y's because then I'll have a +8 and a -8. To solve it. So I'll get -8x plus -8y equals -640. And then I'd add them together. So I'd get the 4x, 0, and then 200, and then divide out the 4. So once I divide out the 4, I get 50. So write this down. Okay. So I get 50, and then you have to go back to like make sense of what's even happening here. So it says, how many adult tickets? Was that X? Yeah, so X was adult tickets. So you're going to say there's 50 adult tickets. So 50 adult tickets, and then you got to figure out how many of the other kind. So the other kind, child is Y. So just like the other ones, you're going to take one of your equations and plug in the 50. I'm going to do that one's faster, I think. Because if I do that blue one, if I do X plus Y equals 80, I can just plug 50 in. I mean, I don't even know if you need to write that. You probably are just like, oh, it's 30, right? Oops. I erased too much. There we go. So Y is 30. So then you would say 30 adult tickets. Oh, it's child tickets. Sorry, child tickets. Already did adult. So 50 adult, 30 child. So the reason I got adult first is because I got rid of the Y's. I could have done the X's. You know, it just depends. So that's why you have to define your variables at the beginning. Any questions? So that's a ticket one. They're all the same. They all look like that. So put the cost in one and then the total. There's always like an X plus Y equals however many tickets there are. Okay. Then there's like the membership thing. So there'll be like gym, cell phone, like those kind of situations. And they talk about a sign up fee and a monthly fee. So for this one, gym offers 2 memberships. Plan A charges $50 sign up fee, 20 per month. Plan B charges no sign up fee, 30 per month. How many months will the total cost of both plans be the same? Okay, so usually I read the last sentence that tell me my variable. So after how many months? So I'm going to let X be the number of months. Okay, and then the Y is kind of weird because you're like, well, what's the Y then? Because like they're talking about when will the total cost be the same? So I guess I don't know the total cost, right? So even though this one's kind of a weird one because the last one was like adult and child tickets, so it's like clear X and Y. For this kind of problem, you're going to have X for number of months and Y is going to be the total cost. So it still tells you in the last sentence, but it's kind of, I don't know, I think it's a little different from the last one. So this is going to be the total cost for that one. Okay, so the way you do these setups, so the ticket one was money and total tickets. For the memberships or cell phones, that kind of stuff, you're going to have 2 different plans. So one equation is going to be plan A and the other equation is going to be plan B. So if you do plan A, okay, so for plan A, it is $50 sign up fee plus 20 per month. So $50 for sure I'm spending, and means plus 20, and then there's that per month. Okay, so 20x, and that's going to equal my total. So it's going to equal whatever that total is for plan A. So it'll be different numbers on another problem, but it's basically you're going to have plan A is this one, and now I'm going to do plan B. So plan B is no sign up fee. So if you want, you can put 0, you know, I don't even know if I want to. And then plus $30 per month. So 30 per month gives you the total. Okay. And then those are your 2 equations. So if you want, you could write 0, but I just like, you don't need to, you know what I mean? So that's, now you're going to solve it. So is there any questions on the setup? Sometimes they both have a sign-up fee. You know what I mean? It just depends on the problem. And then for solving it, I'm for sure going to do substitution. I think it's so much easier. Because like for substitution, all I have to do is I'm going to just put, what am I doing? I'm going to put this in for Y over here. So it's basically, I'm going to go 50 plus 20x, and then I'm going to set that equal to 30x. Right? Doesn't that make sense? Just set the Y's equal. So I'm just replacing this 30x in for Y. And then now I'm going to solve it. So I'm going to subtract, divide, so I get 5. And then again, you have to like figure out like what that even means. So like 5 was X. So then you're like, okay, what's X again? X is the number of months. Okay, and they're asking me after how many months. So if X is months, I'm going to say after 5 months, the price will be the same. Because they didn't even want the total cost. So I'm not going to do any more work than I have to. Do you know what I'm saying? Is there any questions with that? Okay. Maybe I'll do one more and have you guys try these next two. So I'll do one more and then have you try these other ones. So this one is, oh boy, it's freaking out on me. We've got a welder charges differently for aluminum and steel jobs. 1 week she did 5 aluminum jobs, 3 steel jobs, and earned $710. Another week she did 2 aluminum jobs and 4 steel jobs and earned $680. How much does she charge for each type of job? Okay, so the last sentence tells me my variables. So, okay, what are the jobs again? So we've got what, aluminum and steel. So I'm going to do X is, what is it, charge for each job? So like charge for aluminum. I don't know how you want to say that. Aluminum, and then Y will be charge, because you should get like a cost. You know what I'm saying? Charge for steel. Okay, so how much does she charge for each type? And those are the different types. Now you have to like group this stuff together. So you're going to have 2 equations, right? And then notice she's doing 1 week. We've got all this stuff happening. And then another week, we've got this stuff happening. So like for this type of problem, you're going to group all the things for week 1. That'll be one equation. And then group all the stuff for week 2. And that'll be the other equation. And that's how you would set it up. So like 1 week, so week 1, so week number 1 is going to be my first equation, and then week number 2 is going to be my second one. So she did 5 aluminum. Okay, so 5X, because that's aluminum, and 3 steel. So 3 steel, and I got $710 cost. And then your other equation is basically the same thing, but now just read the second sentence, right? So the second sentence says, so week, I'll just call it number 2 just to organize my life. So she did 2 aluminum and 4 steel, $680. And then now I gotta figure this out. Oh, this one's an ugly one. I don't like substitution. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna do elimination. But then this is what I'm saying. They're kind of like, because I have to scale both of them. What did I do? I got rid of the Y's apparently. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to get rid of the Y's. I try to make a, what do I want to do? 12, right? So I'm going to do 4 to make a 12. This one, -3 to make a -12. And then these numbers are going to get big fast. Woohoo! This is going to be fun. Okay, what do we get? 20x plus 12y equals 2,840. Oh my gosh, I'm the smartest person ever. Okay, 2,840. Then this would be -6x minus 12y negative 182. I can't do that in my head. -2040. Ugh, look at these. Ew. Okay, but it's fine. We're just going to deal with it. Okay, so what do we get? So the y's are gone. That's the point. Then we have 20 minus 6 is 14. X equals, so that would just be 800, right? Yeah. Well, that one's like cute, right? But doesn't this not go in nice? No. Oh, that's annoying. Okay. So if you divide by 14, you get 57.14. The reason I rounded to the hundredths place is because for X, charge for aluminum. Okay. So X is a charge, like money. So it's $57.14. So for this one, it charges $57.14 for aluminum job. And then I got to get the other one. Oh, what's the other one? Okay. Do you want to do the bottom? Oh, maybe I'll do the blue one. So now I got to plug it into one of the other ones. So 2x plus 4y equals 680. So I got to plug in that 57 number. 5714. This is going to be gross. That's fine. What did I get? I got 141.43 when I solved it all. 141.43. 143 for, what was the other one? Steel job. So steel, aluminum. So that one was like the most painful. One, because the numbers were gross, and two, the elimination was kind of hard on that one because you have to adjust both of them, which is definitely harder. But like for money ones, that's like normal. They're not always so nice just because of you're rounding to hundredths for cost. So, right. So why don't you guys go ahead and try these guys? They're very similar. So two friends doing cell phone plans, very similar to the gym membership one. And then this one, auto repair shop, that's the same. That's very similar to this last one we did. Okay. So try at least. The setup is usually the hardest part. And then see if you can come up with it. We'll see. How about just set them up and then we'll solve them together? So one equation is going to be plan A. And then, well, here. So in the last sentence says after how many gigabytes. So X will be number of gigabytes. And then your two equations are going to be like plan A, plan B. Yeah, perfect. Yep. Yeah, that's right. Awesome. Yep. Here's the card. Yep. I switched X and Y, but it's the same. Just so you know. Yep. Yeah, good. I would do substitution. I put that whole thing in for y. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, let's go over the setup with it. So this one is like that gym membership one. So that one, the gym membership was like months, I think, and then total cost. This one is per gigabyte. So the last sentence, how many gigabytes? So that's going to be your X. And then cost the same, that's going to be your Y, your total cost. Okay, so then you're going to have a plan A or plan 1, plan 2, just like how this one had gym 1, gym 2, or plan A, plan B. So this one was number of months and total cost. So that one had a sign up fee 20 per month. This one is charges 40 a month and charges $10 per gigabyte. So you're going to do 40 plus $10 per gigabyte. And then this other one is 25 plus 15 per gigabyte is Y. So then as far as solving it, I would do substitution. This is like the only time I like substitution is when a variable is already isolated. But I would just plug in this huge thing in for that Y. So I think that's probably the easiest personally to figure it out. So I would do substitution, plug it in, and then now you're just solving for your X. So maybe I'll just subtract 25 over here. So that'd be 15 plus 10x equals 15x, and then you subtract the 10, and then you get 3. So then 3 is x, so 3 gigabytes. So 3 gigabytes would be the answer for that one. Because they didn't ask for the cost, so I'm not going to do any more work if I don't have to. Okay. And then this last one, the auto fee, this one was kind of weird because the diagnostic fee, the flat diagnostic fee means that's like just some value that we don't know. So a flat diagnostic fee, I had that be X. I know some of you had that be Y. It doesn't matter. It's fine. But I did diagnostic fee X, hourly rate Y. So just double check that you have the variables right. So I did diagnostic plus the 2 hours of work, diagnostic plus 5 hours of work. To solve for that. So as far as solving it for the system, I'd probably do elimination because that's my favorite. And then I just multiplied everything by -1 because then my x's are gone. So I'm left with 3y equals 150. So I get 50, hopefully, for my y. So Y is something, what was Y again? Hourly rate. So I'm going to call $50 hourly rate would be that one. And then I need the diagnostic fee. So wait, diagnostic fee. I'll just use, I don't know, I'll use that X plus 5Y one equals 400. So I'm going to do X plus 5 times 50 equals 400. To figure it out. So I get x plus 250 equals 400, so 150. So 150 diagnostic. So just make sure that you're keeping track of your variables, because I don't know why, but I was just thinking that was diagnostic fee, maybe just because it was like first. But that's why I define my variables, because I have to figure out, okay, y is hourly rate. And then I figure out the other ones. All right. They're very similar. They may not seem like it sometimes, but they're very, very similar. So as long